Now we start to introduce our software. First, double-click the software icon to open the software and make sure the instrument number is right, and then connect to the instrument. As you can see in the current file, you can open it. You can find the new, open, and the other functions as well. And to exit. In the current service, there's user management, experiment management, template management, and so on. In the instruments column, you can connect, disconnect, got instrument information and alarm options. In the tools column, you can find there's a block scan method, detect library, customize dice, select columns, sample column library. And in the report column, you can find the report editors, print settings, and default negative judgment settings. In the data summary, the data query, experimental archive storage folder, and export to text or Excel. In the helps, you can see there is a biotech user menu for our 96,000 plus real-time PCR. If you do not know how to operate our software, you click on this for help. And if you want to start the experiment, you can click New to gene study, and you can also click New to absolute, relative, HRM, and SNP. Click Absolute, or by these 4 buttons, you can create an experiment. If we click Absolute first, we can find there's some detectors, and here is the experiment name. It usually starts by the date, and we can find the detectors. You can add detector, and you can change the reporter to a hex channel, and the detector 1, you can also change the name of called HBV, and change the name of detector target 2, and change the name to HCV. You can add assay, and you can change it to VIC. You can also delete one if you make yes. And then we go to samples. You click batch add. And if we add 1 out of 10, you can find the sample of 10 samples. And you can hit clear all button to click every samples at one time. Click batch add again, sample ID add. You can see the sample ID from A1 to A10. You can delete one sample called A10 and make sure. Click yes, and then you can find there's sample name, sample time, submit data, every detail file for the samples. Then we can hit add column name, item 1, we can change that to bed number. Click OK. And then we can select, you can find there's a new column and add that to the current columns. And we go back to home and create a new experiment. And you can see in the samples, we got the new column called bed number. Then we click plate, and we choose A1 to A9, and click FAM and VIC. Property, you can select unknown, standard, negative, and positive. There are 4 types for us to select. Concentration, there's the unit you can choose. And arrange type, you can find horizontal or vertical based on our choice. And this time we choose horizontal, click OK. And we can click the program. This is called hold stage, and we can choose different stage for our programs. And we can change the temperature to 37 degrees and time to 10 minutes. Next, in the same way, we can change to 15 seconds. In the PCR stage, we can add a step before after the current selected one, and we can change the temperature to 72 degrees and time to 20 seconds, and the cycles number to 40. At the stage from hot stage to melting stage. Here is all called melting stage, and they are holding seconds increased 2 minutes 20 seconds. You can also delete. You can delete one program in the PCR stage as well. And here the liquid quantity, we can change that to 20. If we hit the wrong button and click the start run again, whether you need to save the experiment, click yes, and we will save. Choose the path and choose the costume gain. For FAM, we choose 6. For VIC, we choose 8. And click OK. There are 4 buttons in the run status area. One is skip current stage, plus cycle, minus cycle, and stop run. And you can find the time, leave time. And here is the target temperature for 37 degrees, and actual temperature for 37 degrees. Skip current stage means we skip the current stage to the next one, and you can see the actual temperature rise up very rapidly. And in this graph, you can see that the red one is called heated lead temperature, and the blue one is called block temperature. And if we hit the analysis, you can see the amplification plot for each well. And if you select these wells one by one, you can find the plots for all of them. And if we choose the samples and choose the target, it shows different colors. And in the assay of hex, we can find the result of hex, and we can also do the same for the logs. And in the result summary, we can find the hex CT value for each well and the log CT value for each well as well. Plot type, you can choose from log to linear, And if we choose this line, it's called threshold line. You can set it manually by going up or going down. And as you can see that we need to reanalyze the plot. We hit analyze button, and then we get the result. Click the analysis setting. We click as fitting, and if you want to change the threshold based on current fixed value, you can change that to 300 for hex, and change locks for 200. If we cancel the auto baseline and auto threshold. In the advanced settings, you can see these are the current cycle results, and we can choose different standard curve settings, or whether use it from imported or in this experiment. Choose click plate and choose the standard and change the concentration of this wheel. After setting up for each wheel, you can click Analyze column. We hit Analyze. And then you can see that the standard curve for these samples, there's the name, intercept, scope, error, correlation, efficiency of all the different parameters of this curve. You can export the result called HBV to save it on the desktop. We can also use the standard curve imported from another experiment. Choose the one we just saved, click open, apply settings. Then we can find the standard curve from our previous experiment. Click report. In this software, we can also print out our result. Hit print preview. You can find a report that is the defaulted form. Click report, click editor, click absolute. As you can see in this, there's common controls, non-controls, and you can edit this report by your need. And first, if we double click the name and try to press an A, and then we click save and save that to default. Click save, click yes. Then we open it again. You can find In the name column, it's changed to a name. In the data summary, we can export our result to text form or Excel forms. You can choose the horizontal or vertical, and we can also choose the path. Click OK. And here is the result. In the result, we can find there is a CT value for each wells, and CT mean values, CT standard, and the concentration for each samples, average concentration. We got all information for samples. If we want to save our result as a template, type HBV as our template type and template name in this way, and click OK. Then we can save our result as a template. So when the next time we try to open up a new experiment, we can use the current template. You can click Absolute and open it again. Import settings. Find our template. Click Plate Settings. Click Import. Click. You can see everything we just done before. And we can use it easily.